We got history together, man.
Hi. So,
We've been knowing each other for a
I'm
while.
calling this one Curl-ism.
Man, we go
This is a
back,
straight up
man.
vlog. It has a lot to do with hair, actually, but not necessarily about natural hair care. Just something that I noticed today that I found to be very, very interesting, and I really wanted to share it with sort of the YouTube natural community because I felt like it was very telling what happened. So let me just give you a little bit of background on what happened today that is making me sit here and talk to you guys about this. So I went to Bible study today. Esther, Beth Moore. I love Beth Moore. If you guys have never done a Beth Moore, okay, I'm only talking to the Christians here. If you're not Christian, you can still listen. But I'm not, I don't want to get emails about, oh, you believe in God, God's not real. Okay. I've already dealt with my questions about God. I believe he's real. That's just me. Don't hate you if you don't believe he's real. We all have faith in something. Some have faith that he's real. Some have faith that he's not. So I'm cool with that. But anyway, I went to Bible study. No condemnation for you if you're not. Now, if you're a Christian and you've never done a Beth Moore Bible study, please do one. Daniel is a great one. The Psalm of Ascents is a great one. The Patriarchs, my sister-in-law is actually the one who turned me on to the Patriarchs, my brother's wife. Totally got me hooked on Beth Moore. So anyway, awesome study. But this particular study touches on an interesting subject. And as you see right here, it says it's tough being a woman. So whether you're a Christian or not, we can all relate to that, right? So as being beautiful. And this week's idea of it's tough being a woman in a world where beauty is a treatment was such a compelling subject matter. So we were kind of asked to sort of share issues around that this week. And pretty much almost everybody in my Bible study is not black. And so it was very interesting to hear the stuff that was said in this study by various women. So there's this woman who's sitting next to me, tall, blonde, blue-eyed, pretty girl, very, very pretty woman. And she starts sharing a story about her daughter, who is 3 and who has naturally curly hair. And she said she had been straightening her daughter's hair a lot because her daughter kept asking about it. And one day her daughter comes to her and asks, and she just doesn't have time to because it takes a lot of time to straighten her hair. And her daughter, she says no. And later that day her daughter looked at herself in the mirror and she goes, "Mommy, I'm just not pretty because my hair is curly." Standing there talking about her daughter struggling with some of the same issues I was struggling with prior to choosing to chop my hair. And having her share about how it broke her heart to see her little girl talking about how she's not pretty because she's got curls in her hair. And so her mom, the woman, went on to explain how she went on a campaign to make sure her daughter understood that God chose her to be born with curls in her hair because he thought that would make her the most beautiful for her. And it just really touched my heart because I had the exact same experience. If you look at why I'm going natural video, that's what happened with me. My daughters were asking to get their hair straightened. We were kind of doing it almost as a reward. Oh, it's Christmas, it's Easter, we'll straighten your hair. Or there's a special thing happening at school, we'll straighten your hair. It was all twisted and backwards. Well, not really twisted, it was straight. Anyway, but we were doing these things for the girls to sort of reinforce that straight is more beautiful, straight is more attractive, and I just think that was so unfair what we were doing. We were just kind of setting the girls up for this expectation that their hair wasn't pretty enough. And then, of course, here I am torturing my hair every 6 weeks. Well, actually, I usually went like every 2 months. Every 2 months with a new relaxer and being in the salon for 3-4 hours at a time and missing half a Saturday because of getting my hair relaxed. And my girls had seen me do this for years and years and years. And then I'm standing there noticing that as my daughters were getting deeper into junior high, here I am straightening their hair, and they're preferring to have their hair straight than with the natural curls they had. And I realized that I was personally feeding into that belief system by torturing my hair with the relaxers and not choosing to be okay with what I had. And so she shares the story, and then here I am in this crowd full of white women sharing my natural story. And so I'm like, oh my, and I'm like, tearing up because it's very personal for me. And I'm like, what you said you did with your daughters is exactly why I went natural, because my daughters thought their hair needed to be straight. And now my like middle child is like all geeked up on natural hair. She's going to school with her hair, like she's doing Bantu knots on herself and all kinds of crazy stuff. It's been beautiful for us, but she's going to school and her friends are like, ooh, how'd you do that? And she's like, well, it's because my hair's naturally curly, I can do this. I mean, it's just been awesome. And so I'm sharing with them about, like all the pain and, torment I was going through in making this decision to go from being straightened. After I share, several of them pipe in about how, this one lady who's next pipes in about how, I've been admiring you from the first day of Bible study. I just love your entire look. I think it's so, she goes on to say she thinks it's chic. And I'm like, everybody who's gone natural, you realize we're doing this for ourselves. We're not doing this for anybody else. It's for us. But at the same token, to hear, and it wasn't just her, it was several women who shared, and like even just that morning before we went to study, one of the older ladies in the study came up to me and gave me a hug, and she said, oh my gosh, you're just so beautiful. Which, of course, doesn't hurt when people say nice things. It's nice when people say nice things, but it wasn't something I don't get ready in the morning hoping that somebody will stop me and say I'm beautiful. I try not to focus on outer stuff too much. But it was still nice to hear. And so they're like, I would never have known that this was a struggle for you. I would never have known that there was pain around that. And, I just think it's so beautiful. And I keep thinking, what a nice, unique look. And these are the things these women are saying to me. And what I realized as I was driving home, well, actually, I didn't drive home. I went to meet my husband for lunch. But as I was going to meet my husband for lunch, I realized this struggle with curls, it's bigger than the Black community even. And there's like just a thing culturally against curls. I mean, there's just sort of this big thing. And I almost wonder if it's more American, like do Europeans struggle with the whole curly hair thing the way that Americans do? Makes me just angry at whatever it is, whatever the core of what it is that makes women uncomfortable with just the curl. Just the curl. And I happened to see her daughter after Bible study. She's precious. She's like Shirley Temple fabulous. Like she's so cute. And I just thought, wow, that she would even begin to look in the mirror and think that she was ugly. Because she's not. I mean, you can be blonde hair and blue-eyed and definitely be ugly, y'all. I'm not talking about those kinds of features. I'm just saying as a little girl, she was just a pretty little girl. And that she would look at the mirror and decide she was ugly because her hair was curly. It just kind of made me think of that Tyra Banks episode where the little girls were saying, I've got bad hair because my hair's curly or too big. And I'm like, this thing has reached way outside the African American community and is touching so many ethnic groups in our nation. And I do want to say this. I'm loving my curls. I personally am so happy with my curls and my growth, and I love it. Oh yes, I will be doing, a Wen product review, and soon. Yay, we love Wen. So that's coming. That's coming. I'll get on that. Anyway, so just tell me what you think about that, because that was really, like I said, sickeningly comforting, and sad, and weird, and I'm still processing how that felt for me. But I will make one last plug. Esther by Beth Moore, awesome. Very, very cool Bible study for those of you who are the Bible study set. And if you're not the Bible study set, that's fine. I don't hate you. I have no issues with you. I'm not against you. I'm for you. But if you are the Bible study set, all right, y'all. Take care. Let me know what you think about this. Curious.